Hello and welcome to my special Halloween Top 10. It's the time of the year again where we celebrate Halloween, so I made a spooky Top 10 just for you. Before we start, I want you to refresh your memory a bit, so I will ask you this question. Do you remember putting your seemingly innocent game into the console, playing it for a while, and then there's that character? You know what I mean. Those that just don't fit in the cutesy surroundings and overall atmosphere of the game. So what's the problem? They're freaking creepy, that's what! Doesn't that shock you? When all of a sudden a disturbing character appears out of nowhere in a game where everything is happy and colorful. Doesn't it seem a bit off? You know, those bosses or enemies that just creep you out. Yeah, that's why we are here today. I will list my top 10 most disturbing video game characters. As for the ranking, I asked myself how scared I would be if I saw that particular character in a dark, scary place. I also based them on how big the shock value is. This basically means that I look how unfitting they are in the overall cute environment of the games they are in. So if it's not surprising that this character is disturbing because the whole game is, then that doesn't count. Be aware that this is solely my opinion, and if you don't agree, or if you don't see your character on here, feel free to leave a comment. However, we have to follow some rules in order to make this a bit more interesting. The rules are as following. 1 character per franchise, only from games rated E or E10+. This means no teen rating or above. This also means no horror games. Ties are allowed. And the last rule, no character from Kirby games. Okay, hear me out. This rule might seem a bit weird, but come on, the Kirby franchise has so many disturbing bosses that this isn't a big surprise anymore. It is practically normal for Kirby standards to have a creepy boss. So, sorry Kirby, I have to let your franchise out of this. So, let's not waste any time and start off with the list. Enjoy! Mario is a great franchise. It is even the best-selling video game franchise of all time. It is also known for being very kid-friendly. All in all, the Mario franchise has a lot of different games, being most famous for their platformers, but there are also other genres like sports games, puzzle games and even RPGs. In contrast to the main series of the Mario franchise, the Mario RPGs have a relatively good story. It's more than just kidnapping a princess and saving her from a dragon. No, this goes way deeper than this. It has great moments, writing, worlds, and of course, it has good and interesting characters. Some are serious, some are funny, and then there's Mimi. What's wrong with Mimi? She's just a little green thing girl, right? Well, yes she is, but she's more than that. At first, I thought she was really cute. I would have liked her if it wasn't for her horrible personality. I thought she was just a normal villain. But then this happens. Why is this in a Mario game? Okay, I want to make one thing clear. I am not that kind of girl who is afraid of spiders. In fact, I like spiders, I think they're cute. But not those. Cellar spiders are just disgusting. With their long, thin legs. Ugh, it's just so creepy. And it doesn't help that she snaps her neck while transforming into it, and you can hear it clearly. And then there's this glitch in the early PAL version, which happens when you talk to her after going in all the rooms. She freezes your game. How nice. Wario is a raunchy version of Mario, we all know that. His games are also weirder. But his platformers still have cute characters in them. Like this boss, for example. Aw, you're so cute, I don't want to hurt you. But I guess I have to. Oh well. 1 hit. 2 hits. 3 hits. Come on, it's the first boss after all. I can do this. Oh! What the heck? How can something this cute turn into something this hideous? I didn't expect this at all. Look at it, the face is just so damn ugly. The teeth, the eyes, the snot, the veins protruding from its body. I'd say that's a heavy temper tantrum right there. For this entry, I apologize in advance because I just couldn't find any video footage for that character. And who can blame me? He only appears in an exclusive Japanese version of the game that got never released outside of Japan. So what's that obscure game I'm talking about? Well, the game itself isn't obscure, it's just Animal Crossing. Now I bet you are all wondering, how can there be a disturbing character in Animal Crossing? Animal Crossing is such a cheery and innocent game, right? And what is that obscure Japanese version I'm talking about? Long story short, the first Animal Crossing game ever made came out for the Nintendo 64. And when the GameCube came out, they made a new version called the Butsu no Mori E+. This game, like I said, was only released in Japan, and the character I'm talking about only appears in this specific version of the game. And no, it's not Coco either. I know that a lot of people think that she's creepy because she looks so lifeless, but trust me, it gets worse than that. Meet Nindori the ostrich. Ugh! I know that I don't have any video footage, but gosh, just look at him! He has freaking empty eye sockets! It's basically the same thing with Coco, but this just looks way worse. He just stares at you with these empty eye sockets. Why are his eyes missing? Was this intentional? Why would you program an ostrich without eyes? Did they forget about the eyeballs or what? It's not like he's made of wood or cloth or something. This is just wrong on so many levels. Just imagine how it would be if you go around at night and then suddenly this would come your way. Not a pretty thought. Could you talk normally to a person that didn't have eye sockets? Wouldn't you be shocked? And yet, the human player doesn't even bat an eyelid. Nintendo, give your characters eyeballs next time, instead of making them bosses. Starfox 64 is a game that has a very well done build up to the final boss. Throughout the game, you constantly hear about Andros, how great and powerful he is, and how he will conquer the Lilith system. But they never show him to you. After all, the last time you have seen him was when he looked like this. Which is not very frightening. Now you want to know how he looks with better graphics. You enter the last mission, which takes place on the planet Venom. At one point, you get separated from your friends and have to enter a long tunnel to confront Andros. And then he says something like this.
Die just like your father.
Jeez, this is intimidating and dark. After this, you finally confront Andros. Is that... Whoa! Ever heard of personal space? Just imagine being a little kid, playing this game, seeing a black silhouette and then all of a sudden his face pops up and gets really close. What is this, a pop-up scare? And it gets worse. The fight is kind of unsettling, but this last attack is the moment which freaked us all out as kids. Just watch this. Okay. And if you get all the secrets, he shows his true form and turns into a giant brain which shoots its eyeballs at you. Ew, kind of gory, don't you think? And out of place too. The Pigpen series usually has rather normal enemies, or let's say enemies where you know what it is, so basic stuff. This thing, however, I have no idea what it is. So what the heck am I talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Plasm Wraith. This thing, it's just so strange, from the beginning to the end. It's like something out of a horror B-movie. In fact, it reminds me of the Blob, which is a really scary concept for a monster. Not that Blob! It may not look that frightening, but the way it behaves and what it does makes it really spooky. At first, you find it stroking an unconscious Olimar while unnerving music plays. Okay, why is it doing this? Is there a reason for this? Then, after it sees you, it absorbs Olimar and tries to protect him. You can attack it and it won't fight back. That's weird. After supposedly defeating it, the main three try to rescue Olimar with their Pikmin. The odd thing now is that the Pikmin behave strangely. They don't know where to go, and Brittany has to guide them to the level. That's also weird. The heroes enter the cave and the plasma wave suddenly comes back to life and starts chasing after them. The creepy thing is that, while it is translucent, it is completely invincible and it kills everything it comes in contact with instantly. Wouldn't you be scared of an immortal, unidentifiable thing that would chase you down and kill everything in its path? You even see the creatures it kills melt inside of it. Again, kind of like the monster from the Blob. Alf even says that this slimy thing emits radio signals. An animal emitting radio waves? What is this thing? And if you're close to the creature, you start hearing them. And it sounds unnerving and unfitting, for Pigmen at least. It really wants Olimar for some reason and we don't know why. After you get out of the cave, the creature manages to get Olimar back and a final battle begins. Here you can see how strangely it behaves. And in the ending, you see that even though you think you have finally beaten it, it actually stands there, like it's not even dead. This thing is immortal. Just get away from it. Now we're getting into the scarier stuff. If I tell you that this character is from the Sonic franchise, who do you think it is? Nope. Ew, get that thing away from me! No, but it is equally creepy. The character I'm talking about is a final boss. Usually, final bosses in Sonic games are pretty epic, but this one, it doesn't really belong in a Sonic game in my opinion. Just take a look. This isn't bad, right? Ew, that's just gross. What's that green slime? Are those eyes? What the heck is this? I am honestly surprised. They actually put something like this in a Sonic game. It's freaking disgusting! Some people might say that Tails' doll is disturbing, but that's only the creepypasta surrounding him. This thing, however, has arms coming out with green slime blood and a million eyes with tongues. Ugh. It also has those long bony fingers and it has a creepy stare. Conclusion? This definitely doesn't belong in a Sonic game. Neither does this. Minecraft. One of the most successful indie games ever made. But why is it so successful? Well, it started off with just farming blocks, using them to build enormous buildings and all sorts of objects. It also has that survival-like style to it, which a lot of people like, and I agree with that. With the past updates, Minecraft got more and more things that made it even better, like jungles with ocelots, oceans with squids, mushroom islands with mushrooms, tigers with wolves, hell with giant killer jellyfish that want you dead. Wait, what? There's hell in Minecraft? I thought this was about building stuff. For starters, this hell is called the Nether, and it was introduced as a Halloween update. Fitting, I guess. In order to go to the Nether, you have to build a portal using obsidian, which is kind of hard to get and even harder to farm. Why does it take so many hits? After you go through the portal and enter the Nether, you notice that the portal sounds are pretty creepy, and trust me, that's not the worst part. The first thing you will notice notice audibly is that there's something moaning and making very strange and spooky sounds. So you explore the unknown world more to see what it has to hide and what the heck is making these noises. And when you see it... Ugh! This is how you're welcomed in this world. Those things are called ghasts. They hate you for some reason and they want you to burn to death. They do everything to achieve that. Be prepared to be bombarded with deadly fireballs as soon as they see you. Not only do they really want you dead, but they also cry the whole time. Why? It's just so odd. I don't even know why they're crying. Plus they're jellyfish. I know that a lot of people say that jellyfish are beautiful, but I think they're just disgusting. And then, those sounds they make, just listen to them. Holy cow, this is serious business. And the more you think about it, the creepier it gets. You are in hell being attacked by giant floating and weeping killer jellyfish. And the thing is, that's not all. There's another dimension with creepy monsters, like if one wasn't enough already. So what am I talking about? Of course, it's the Endermen who shared a spot on this list with the ghasts. Endermen are based off the Slenderman. There, creepy enough already. They usually do nothing unless you look them in the eye. Then you better run. Or wait, no, running doesn't work here. They teleport near you and they will kill you. Kind of like the weeping angels. As soon as you laid eyes on them, don't look away, don't blink. Or if you feel brave enough, be my guest, but they will hunt you down. What's their problem? Do they hate eye contact so much that they want to kill you for it? What is this, extreme autism? And the way they look at you is so freaky. Their jaw opens and their eyes start glowing. The whole thing about them is scary. They can instantly teleport behind you and kill you. Now, if you're really brave, there's the end. Yet another spooky dimension in Minecraft. It is dark, nearly empty, and it is full of Endermen. I better not go there. This isn't just about blocks. I think we can all agree that The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask was a very dark and depressing, even sometimes scary game. It had a lot of unnerving things, like the moon for example. That 3 days countdown always made me nervous. But the character on this list is not from Majora's Mask. The character is from Ocarina of Time. It's the creepy and disturbing Dead Hand. Dead Hand looks like a freaking Silent Hill enemy. Just look at it, it even has blood on it. And something like this comes from Ocarina of Time, not Majora's Mask. So this is quite a shock that this enemy comes from the non-disturbing game out of the two. It is also ironic. Dead Hand doesn't just look creepy, but it also behaves in an unnerving way. You find him twice in the game, and you find one of these mini-bosses at the bottom of a dark well. Yeah, that sounds creepy enough. When you enter the place it resides, you see long white arms sticking out of the ground. This doesn't look very inviting. If you come too close to one arm, this monstrosity comes out of the ground and tries to kill you. One hand grabs you, and then the dead hand tries to bite your head off. So the blood on its body is from victims it has already killed? Nintendo, we only make family-friendly games. Not! Also, the way it opens its jaw is just so eerie. It doesn't look like anything that would belong in a Nintendo game. All things considered, it's the creepiest mini-boss from an E-rated game ever. But that's only the creepiest mini-boss. Okay, I am going to be straightforward. If I mention Earthbound, you probably know who will be on this spot. So now you know it already. Yes, it is the great Gygas himself. Wait, what? Gygas isn't number 1? Well, no, he, she, it isn't. But we all know why Gygas is so high on this list. It's the whole abortion thing. For those who don't know about it, There's a big theory going around the web that the whole final boss of Earthbound could be interpreted as an abortion. The theory claims that the cave where Gygas resides looks like a cervix, the devil's machine is the womb, and Gygas himself? Well, just take a look at this. Did you notice it? If not, then take a look at this. Gygas looks like a fetus. This is real. This theory is supported by the fact that Shigesato Itoi based this boss off a traumatic experience he had as a child, where he went into the wrong theater and saw a scene from a movie called The Military Policeman and the Dismembered Beauty. He mistook a rather sexual murder scene for a rape scene. And what do a lot of raped girls do after they find out that they're pregnant? They abort the baby. And to top it all off, even the entrance of the caves looks suggestive. There's something wrong here. I know that this is a very sensitive and controversial subject, and I am not claiming that the theory is true, but seriously, why is this in an E-rated game? Well, this would have been sick enough already if it wasn't for the atmosphere. Oh gosh, the atmosphere. First of all, to go there you have to go to the past, but since living beings cannot be warped to the past, your mind is transferred to a robot. Then, Dr. Andonat says that it won't be guaranteed that you will return to your original body. This alone is creepy enough. After that, you travel back in time into one of the scariest places in non-horror video game history. The Cave of the Past. Everything is creepy about this place. The music. Oh man, the music. This is just so unnerving. It's also so lifeless and empty, and this greenish grey is wearing on your mind really fast. It drives you nuts. At the end of the dungeon you see this cave, and you enter it. You find yourself walking on what seems to be pulsating intestines. That's just gross. When the fight starts, it's not that bad. I mean, cool music plays and you can finally beat up that douchebag Porky. But then he turns off the devil's machine and everything becomes creepy again. The background is twisted, the music distorted, and everything is so weird that you can't even grasp the final boss's attack. Why should I understand what he's doing? I don't get anything in this red, black, swirl face dimension. And just look at Gygas. Okay, imagine you didn't know about Earthbound. Someone came up to you, he shows you some gameplay footage, and then he shows you Gygas. Would you believe that this would be the final boss of this game? No. You know what the worst thing is? The worst thing is the shock. This isn't Silent Hill or Resident Evil or Amnesia or Yumi Nikki or something screwed up where you would expect something sick like this to pop up at any moment. No, this is a Nintendo game. An E-rated Nintendo game. This is Earthbound, a game with cutesy graphics and happy music. And then, out of nowhere, all this stuff comes up. I mean, it goes from this to this. Yeah, it doesn't fit. And what makes it so creepy is the fact that the theory makes perfect sense. It fits. It's not like one of these stupid fan theories that make no sense and that are easy to disprove. But the nightmare has only begun. Before we get to number 1, let's do a quick recap. Number 10, Mimi. Number 9, Spoiled Rotten. Number 8, Nindori. Number 7, Andros. Number 6, Plasm Wave. Number 5, Perfect Dark Gaia. Number 4, Ghast and Enderman. Number 3, Dead Hand. And number 2, Gygas. Some were creepy because of their appearance. Some were creepy because of their concept, and some were creepy because of their actions. Number 1, however, is, in my opinion, creepy in every one of these ways. I know that a lot of you will disagree with me on this, or some will maybe laugh at it, but I have decided to regardlessly put it above Gygas, just because it's the only video game character that gave me serious nightmares as a child. Now, Let's go straight for number 1 on this list. So, number 1 on this list comes from a very well-known franchise. In fact, it is the second most successful Nintendo franchise there is. That's right, the character I am talking about is from Pokemon. Wait, what? Okay, get this. I think we all know that there are some creepy things in Pokemon. In fact, there are some creepy Pokemon out there, like Giratina for example. Did you see the scene in Pokemon Platinum? That was really creepy. Oh. Oh gosh, that's really dark. For a Pokemon game no less. Jeez, he's looking really creepy. Oh, guys? What? No, holy sh**! If you're asking, no, Giratina is not the number 1 spot. But what Pokemon could it be? Maybe one of these Pokemon with a grotesque Pokédex entry? Oh, look how cute and pink it is. It's also pretty, and it looks so innocent. I think the Pokédex will agree with me on this. Although Gorbis is the very picture of elegance and beauty while swimming, yes it is. It is also cruel. When it spots prey, this Pokemon inserts its thin mouth into the prey's body and drains the prey its body fluids. Oh, ew. Look at Cleffa! Look how cute and pink it is! No, the number 1 spot is not a Pokemon. Well, not really. I'll give you a hint though. It comes from the very first generation of Pokemon. Nah, it's not the ghost either. To be honest, as a kid, I didn't really think the ghost was that creepy. In fact, today I find him creepier than I did when I was a kid. And it also has nothing to do with Lavender Town or the White Hand or Buried Alive. But I digress. So, if it's not Giratina and not the ghost either, what is it then? Well, the character I have in mind was not meant to exist in the game. It should have never existed in the first place. And it gave me the worst nightmares I had from any video game I've played. Ever. It was the year 1999. I played my Pokemon Blue version outside on a playground. Then, a teenage boy, around 16 years old, who lived in the neighborhood, approached me. Are you playing Pokemon? He asked. Yes, I do. I love that game, I replied. I can show you a really cool trick if you want, he said. Being excited to hear that, I answered, yes, please show me. The boy showed me the trick. He went to an old man in Viridian City. The man asked if he was busy. The boy replied no, and so the man showed him how to catch a Pokemon. Then he flew to Cinnabar Island and surfed along the east coast. He did this for like half a minute, then the battle music started and he gave me the Game Boy back. The loading screen before the Pokemon appeared lasted longer than usual, and that was weird, I thought to myself. But then, what has appeared? It would be burned into my memory forever, and it would haunt my nightmares for a long time. What is this? Yes, you heard that right. Number 1 on this list is not only Vicingno, but all the glitch Pokemon. Yeah, maybe it's a bit of an unusual choice here, but I mean, come on, what the heck is this thing? So some of you may think, oh, that's so pathetic of you to put this on the number 1 spot. Well, hear me out. First, I was a little kid when this happened, and I still have memories of those nightmares. Second, look at them, they're freaking Eldritch Abominations! That's the keyword here, Eldritch Abomination. Glitch Pokemon are things that mess with the game reality itself. They were never meant to exist in the first place, and that makes the whole thing even creepier for me. For this, you need to see past just what it is. You need to think about it for a long time, and then you will see how scary it really is. As a kid, I tried to wrap my mind around it, but I just couldn't comprehend what those glitch Pokemon were. They are of an incomprehensible nature. Just imagine what it would be like if glitch Pokemon existed in the real world. They would be so dangerous that they could potentially corrupt existence itself. They break the boundaries of logic. This can be observed in the game. Some glitch Pokemon have really creepy effects, in or outside of battle. Some have never-ending cries. Some freeze the game before the battle even starts. And then there's the worst. The worst thing that could happen to your Pokemon Red or Blue cartridge. It's called Super Glitch. Super Glitch is a glitch move that destroys the logic and the foundations of reality in this game. Use it and all hell breaks loose. It will create weird effects. You just don't understand what's going on. Strange things happen, like the enemy having an overly long HP bar and being killed by a burn, and you having billions of glitchy Pokemon in your party. You can experiment a lot with Super Glitch, but trust me, don't do it too often. After abusing it, there is a chance that the save file will be deleted. So glitch Pokemon have the power to extinguish reality with one move. They don't belong in this universe. Their existence itself poses a threat to it, and when they act, it gets worse. Now it seems to be much creepier, doesn't it? So why did it give me nightmares? Well, the story continues. A few years later, my little brother caught a level 0M, and he evolved it into a Kangaskhan. I don't know for sure what happened because it has been a long time, but I think he traded it over to my game because I couldn't catch it in a Safari Zone, and I deposited it in one of the boxes. The next day I started the game, the horror began. Every single Pokemon in every one of these boxes were turned into a glitchy mess. I have no clue how that happened, and I can't show you since I deleted that file. I couldn't use any box anymore because if I deposited a Pokemon, it would become a glitch itself. It's like a glitch black hole that absorbs everything. And if I tried to withdraw one, the game restarted automatically, which was really mysterious. When viewing the summary, each Pokemon looked like some kind of mini Missingno mosaic. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm just going to show you this picture so you can understand how it looked like. Me and my brother had nightmares for at least a month. If any one of you can recreate this, please send me the video. I would like to see it. I really have no idea how that happened. I was forced to delete my save file. The boy told me that this happened because Missingno or M are viruses. This isn't true, of course, they're glitches. But every time I heard the word virus from that day on, all those bad memories came to my mind. Did you ever expect this to be in a Pokemon game? The shock was so big for me as a kid. The other characters on this list are disturbing, yes, but they didn't really do anything to your game. Except Mimi perhaps, but that was just a freeze, which you could avoid if you know how to do it. The glitch Pokemon, however, did something horrible to my game, and knowing that there are glitch Pokemon out there like Point 4 who can do even worse damage with Super Glitch is just frightening. A scary character that actually messes with your game. Think about it. If your save file is as good as unusable and you are a kid, then you are automatically traumatized by this. So, this concludes my top 10 most disturbing video game characters. If you have any opinions or requests for future videos, or if you have your own list, just leave a comment. Don't forget to rate and subscribe if you like my videos. I also like to thank Immer392 and Larritz for their help. Go check out their channels as well. And last but not least, don't forget to celebrate this year's Halloween. Thank you for watching, and until next time.